Hello and welcome to day 20. Today we're going to string some of these moves together that we've done and we're going to take it into a little bit of a flow. So we're going to start out in our child's pose and I want you to relax into the pose even though I may be lifted up speaking to you. So I want you to remind you where that is. Knees together or apart. We want that belly to be able to drop down between the legs. Arms reaching up, head drop down. Remember, you can relax the elbows down into the floor to take some of that pressure off the neck and the shoulders, or you can use that stretch to really stretch the shoulders. Maybe TP the fingers, lift the arms up, active arms. And if you can relax that center of the forehead down into the mat or the pillow or your hands, it can really stimulate some calming feelings into the brain. Walk the hands over to one side. Explore how that changes the stretch. Walk the hands over to the other side. And let yourself come back to neutral for a few more breaths. As we slowly lift up to hands and knees. We'll all meet there. There's no hurry. Get yourself grounded and adjusted. We're going to go into our cat and cow stretch. So hands flat or make fist and rest down on the knuckles. Remember, we lift the head, lift the hips, let the belly drop down, sway back for that cow. The opposite. The head, the hips drop down, the spine rolls up like an angry cat. And keep moving back and forth between those moves in your rhythm. Remembering to breathe. Inhale and exhale. One more time. Returning back to neutral. We're going to move into a circle cat. So we're imagining that circle underneath your belly. Widen the hands and knees if needed. And rotate around that imaginary circle with your navel. And this circle can be simple, it can be exaggerated. You may get to a spot where the stretch feels great. So just hang out there for a few breaths. Listen to your body. All of these simple moves, opening into the hips and opening up the spine. The accumulation of the moves put together will give you bigger benefits than you imagine. And when you're ready, change directions. So remember, we want to create balance by doing things equally side to side, except for when we know there's an imbalance. That's when we repeat a move on the side that's extra tight. One more time around, and then we'll all meet back in neutral. We're going to lower down onto our belly. If you remember that Sphinx pose, we are going to put the elbows under the shoulders, legs extended back behind you, feet wider than the hips, toes pointing back, or change that toe position, toes pointing out if that feels better for you, toes pointing in. And we're relaxing from the navel down, if you recall, hips, glutes, legs, all soft and passive. From your navel up, all active. Inhale, I want you to lift that spine. Heart lifts up towards me. Shoulders drop down away from the ears. And try to breathe here. It's a little harder. The front of your lungs are compressed. But feel that dichotomy of the relaxed lower half of the body and the active upper half of the body. Just a few more breaths here. Relaxing into the low back. Just letting it melt and create some space. I'm going to just slowly lower down. We're going to move back into our child's pose. So you may want to come back to hands and knees and then shift back. Taking a few nice deep breaths here. And then we're going to work that flow back and forth. Just releasing forward and backwards. You can go all the way into child's pose, or you can keep the hips up, more like a puppy pose. And we're just working out all the joints here. Use it or lose it. Keep that mobility. Staying mobile and agile are all important things for healthy aging. One more time. And then I would invite you the next time the hips are back, either move into down dog or your puppy pose. Puppy pose is the hips in the air, arms stretch out like we did in child's pose. And releasing. Lifting yourself up to hands and knees. We're going to move into our calf stretch. I'm going to flip sideways so you can see a little better. So, we got our good foundation, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Take that left leg and extend it back, toes curl under. Push the weight back through the heel. We're going to stay here for a few breaths. You can stay here throughout the move, or if you want to, or if you're able to, cross over the right foot, push back into the heel again, change that stretch just a little bit. We may want to move this right into our pigeon pose. So I'm shifting again so you can see. You already have your right leg forward, your left leg back. Whether you want to change this right leg or not, your option. Stay in the calf stretch with the added hip stretch, or move the focus more into the hips with the sole pigeon stretch. Remember your breathing. Just let your awareness always fall back to the breath. Stay mindful. Tweaking the pose as you need to, coming out of it if your body has had enough. We'll stay here for another breath. We're going to slowly shift out any way you like. You may want to roll over onto that right hip, or you may want to just slide the right leg back. Whatever position you're in, just do a little stretch, whatever your body asks for. A twist, a fold, a cat and cow. We'll just take a moment in the middle before we change sides. And we're going to move into that calf stretch. So if you need to, come back into hands and knees with me. We're preparing to work the other side. So we're extending the right leg back. Calf stretch, remember we're starting with the calf stretch. Pushing back into that heel. Feeling that stretch up the calf muscles of the right leg. As you take a few breaths. And you may choose to stay in this stretch, or you may like crossing the leg over. Getting a little extra stretch. Adding some stretch into the side body and the hips. Now you have these first two options to stand. If you want to come into a full pigeon, slide that left leg up. Right leg extends back. And bring that focus more into the hip. If you try a more advanced version of the pose and it's not quite right for you, you can always just lower down to one of the modifications or the simpler moves. There's no need to push your body. Flexibility takes time, and you will gain it with consistency. So I've said it before and I'll say it again. 10 minutes a day is going to take you further than 1 hour a week. So you want to really stay consistent if flexibility is a goal. We're going to stay here for another breath or two. We're going to slowly work out. Again, whatever that means to you, sliding that left leg back or rolling to the left hip, shaking the legs out. Take a moment to readjust yourself. Sticking any pose in here that feels good from wherever you are. A twist, a fold, cat and cow, rocking motion, child's pose. Follow your body. And we'll all meet back to hands and knees if you're able. We're going to work on that inner thigh stretch. So we're going to extend the left leg out. Remember, foot on the floor, toes facing forward. Now you can shift those hips front to back. Find that inner thigh stretch. We can also combine this move with our thread the needle pose. If you like, stay with me. So we've got our left leg extended. Our left hand is going to anchor. Right arm's going to lift. Big breath. And as the right arm floats down, we're going to thread it over, roll down onto the shoulder. Find a comfortable spot for your head as that left arm lifts up, crosses over, or stays on the floor. Your choice. Now, you may not be able to get the optimal shoulder and inner thigh stretch all in one, but you can shift your weight around, being gentle with the neck to find a version of the stretch that works for you. I'm going to slowly lift out, but you can stay there for a few more breaths. And you may decide, do you need more of a shoulder stretch, more of an inner thigh stretch? And you may want to isolate that part of the movement to benefit you in the way that you need. So we're going to slowly lift out. Again, balancing things out in the middle here before we go to the other side. We're going to get ready to change sides. So we're back to hands and knees. If you're working with me, the right leg extends out. Just take a few minutes here to feel that inner thigh stretch. And again, you may want to stay here. You may want to only focus on the hips. You may want to only focus on the shoulders. Or you may want to combine it. So we've got our right leg extended, our right arm anchored. As we inhale, lift the left arm up. Left hand floats down with your exhale as it threads over, dropping down to your left shoulder. Right arm extends up, rest on your lower back, or stays anchored. Finding your breath, feeling your stretch. One more breath. We're going to lift out, withdrawing that left arm, pulling in that right leg. And I would invite you to go into your child's pose. I'm going to walk you through a very short and quiet meditation. If this position doesn't feel right for you, feel free to change. Make it something comfortable for you. And I would invite you to close your eyes, focus on your breathing wherever you are, and just let your mind run free. A lot of people think meditation is about not having any thoughts or only having good thoughts. And that's not entirely true. Meditation is just our way of listening. Listen to your intuition. Listen to yourself. Listen to your body. Listen to the energy around you. Listen to your intuition. So if you're faced with a question or a decision in life, I would invite you to take this time right now to let the body be still and listen. I've learned in life that those loud, screaming voices are usually ego. Intuition is soft and gentle. Sometimes that can help me sort out who I need to listen to or what voice. This quiet pose also teaches us, as I've said before, not every thought requires an action. We can sit in that thought. We can marinate in it. We can dwell on it. It may be worthy of keeping. It may not. If you're having a thought that you don't want or need, let it go. Exhale it away. Send it back to the universe to be recycled. We take time to clean our cars, even clean our computer memories, our phone memories. We clean our closets, our house. It's okay to clean your mind as well. We take care of our body. Take care of your mind. Declutter. Some things in there don't even belong to you. Do a little inventory. Let them go. And in the process, you may be finding your answer. I would invite you to stay here and enjoy this moment. Feel this energy. Take this time to relax as long as you like. And I appreciate you joining me. I thank you for coming. I will see you tomorrow as we start our series 3. Namaste. Go in grace. Go in peace.